Hey guys, it's Sydney from Echosmith. I am here on my tour bus. We just finished a show in Montreal. But thank you guys so much for your questions. We cannot wait to answer them. And thank you to Romeo for having us. All right, Mackenzie from Dedham. What band or artist do you guys want to tour with in the future? I know I would love to tour with, for example, Coldplay. I think Coldplay is a good one. Or The Killers. Or both. Lana from Colorado Springs. Which music artists have the most impact on your life? I would say that Coldplay is a big one because they were our first concert, actually. All of our first concerts. So that's obviously a big step. And also the fact that, they're obviously great musicians and great performers, and they also stand for something is amazing and something that really has had an impact on all of our lives, and we just, love everything that they do. Daniela from Artesia, what do you guys think you'd be doing right now if you weren't in a band? I would be a yoga or Pilates teacher, probably, because you get to work out, feel great, and make a living at the same time, which is kind of like what I'm doing now. All right, Taylor from Montego. Where in the world would all of you like to go and speak their language? I would love to go to France and be able to speak fluent French because I took that in high school, but I don't remember a lot of it. So I would love to be actually good at it. I just think it sounds so beautiful. So I would choose France. Sarah from Keller. What's your favorite song off your debut album? Favorite right now, at least, is Tell Her You Love Her. That song, just kind of means a lot to this whole band for different reasons. And, I don't know, it's just a love song. And I think that everyone can relate to a love song. No matter who you are, no matter what stage of life you're in, because, love can be a lot of things. It can be your significant other, it can be your family, it can be your friends, it can be, anybody, really. We see it as something that's so important. And it's really beautiful to get to perform that every night and to see how people respond to it and how they relate to it. And, there's people hugging, there's friends, I don't know, telling each other why they, appreciate each other. And then there's also the couple making out. It's always a good time with that song. Alyssa from Orlando. What are some of your favorite songs on the radio at the moment? Top 3. Number 1, Thinking Out Loud by Ed Sheeran. Number 2, Uptown Funk, Bruno Mars, Mark Ronson. Number 3, I Don't Mind by Usher. Who is a master of pranks in the group? Jamal from Toronto. Hello, I'm in your country right now. I'd say that Jamie is probably the biggest prankster, I guess, considering he's the one who has the guts to do it. And he's the oldest, so naturally, that's his role. Candace from Long Beach. If each of you could be an animal, what would you be? If I was an animal, I'd probably be a lion, because I think it'd be cool to be able to run at full capacity on 4 legs. I think that's pretty cool. And I don't know, I think lions are just so cute. But I'd want to be a lion cub because I'd want to be a baby animal because they're a lot cuter. Brittany from Jacksonville. What are your favorite foods? Shrimp tacos and sushi. That's it. Sydney from Fresno. Hi, Sydney. My name's Sydney. What are your top 3 cities to perform in? Number 1 is probably LA because we live there. So we're a little biased, and the weather's always nice, and we get to see friends. So it's kind of a little bit of everything that you'd want as a band. Or at least as Echosmith. And number 2, probably New York. Always a great crowd. Always fun. Always, really exciting every time. And we always have an amazing show there. So New York's number 2. And number 3, I would say London. We actually only have played there once, but the one show that we did have was amazing because we got to see, so many different kinds of people who came from so many different kinds of places. There's people from France and Germany and Holland and, Ireland and all these different places who came to London to see us play and traveled, far distances to just see us play an hour of songs. So we definitely appreciated that, and that felt really special. Plus, they sing cool kids a lot cooler than us because they have awesome accents. Kelly from Portland, what is the significance of the song Tell Her You Love Her? What does it mean to each of you guys? I actually just talked about that. But, you know, for me, that song means a lot. And I even say that every show. I'm like, this song means a lot to me, and I mean it. And, you know, we wrote this song a few years ago, but I feel like I relate to it even more so now as I'm getting older, and, you know, the 14-year-old version of me didn't really know love the same way that I do now. So, yeah. Andrea from Valencia, has anything really strange happened to you at a concert? I don't know about the word strange, but consistently I'm getting hurt on stage. It's either Noah accidentally hitting me in the head with his bass, or Jamie hitting me, or me hitting my hand on something like really hard but acting like nothing happened, or me hitting my face on the mic. That happens almost every show. And it's hard to hide pain on your face because it's so right here. So that is something that happens at basically every concert, but makes it fun. Owen from Lynchburg, what is the hardest part of touring for each of you? I think the hardest part is generally the lack of sleep and staying healthy on the road, because it's, you know, hard to find time to work out or to eat healthy or to, I don't know, be healthy in general, and to not get sick. That is a challenge that I'm trying to beat right now. Pietra from Brazil, what is your best memory of childhood? Childhood is, you know, really fun for us because there was music everywhere and there was art everywhere, so it was, you know, very creative. So I mean, the fact that we even got to have that was awesome, and, you know, one of our best memories, because we got to try so many different kinds of things, and, you know, our parents were the ones that would be happy to sign us up for whatever we wanted to try. You know, I did soccer for 10 years and dance for like 5 years, but I came back to music because obviously I wasn't the best at either of those. So, you know, it was really nice to have that kind of experimenting factor in our childhood, but especially with music, that was really helpful. And, you know, not every 7-year-old gets to record demos for fun. Justin from Seattle, if each of you guys could choose any city in the world that could best represent each of your personalities, what would they be? That's a good question. I think I'd pick like somewhere in California, and this is such a good question. It's so hard to think. I think I would pick San Diego, because they're super chill there, and really, I don't know, everyone's just really nice and friendly, and there's a beach, there's shrimp tacos, and I don't know, it's San Diego. What else do I have to say? Okay, Hank from Hayward, what is your favorite song to cover as a band? We've been singing Uptown Funk at basically every show just for fun, like 30 seconds of it, which has been very fun, and everybody there loves that song. Everybody everywhere loves that song, so it's a very fun song to cover. Who does the most songwriting out of the band? Well, what's cool about what we do is that all 4 of us write every song, so all of us do the most songwriting, because we kind of just split everything up between the 4 of us, and, you know, just sort of have fun with it and let everyone just kind of switch roles and do whatever, because we all play a little bit of everything. So it's nice that I'm not the one that has to write every single lyric, because sometimes I don't have an idea. And sometimes Graham, the drummer, will have a better idea than I do. So it's really nice to have that in the band. Where do you aspire to be in 5 years? 5 years, still making music, doing what we do, but hopefully at a little bit of a bigger capacity maybe, and continue to be a happy person then, and I don't know, stuff like that. I don't really know. A lot can happen in 5 years, so I'm excited to see what happens, and I'm excited to see this video 5 years from now and think, I don't know what I would think, actually. But I'm excited to find out. Clement from Silver Spring, who heard the album Talking Dreams first? Actually, on our first year of Warped Tour in 2013, before the album came out, we used to have little listening parties, a couple times in that summer, and we would invite different bands and crew members. So, people from Never Shout Never to the guy who sets up the main stage, those people heard it first, which is really a unique experience and really cool to say that those people got to, hear what we did first. Who would you like to work on a collaboration with in the future? From Ava in Toledo. I think it'd be really cool to do something with Ed Sheeran, be it singing or writing or doing something with him, or both. I would be very, very, very excited about it. Lily from Portland, did you ever think Cool Kids would put you guys on the map? No. Good question, because, that song was written just because we were being honest with how we felt about, that whole desire and longing to fit in, and that longing and that comparing yourself to other people. And, it's something that we were just wanting to write about, and it was kind of a harder song to write. It took like a month of going back and forth with the lyrics and trying to get it perfect, and we kept editing it, and it almost didn't even make the record. We were just so like, oh my gosh, when is this going to be right? And I mean, I'm glad we finished it, obviously, thank goodness. But that song, I think, just works because we were so honest with it, and who doesn't want to hear the message of someone telling you that it's okay and you should be accepting yourself and being okay with who you are and who you aren't. And I mean, what better news is that, what else would you want to hear? So yeah, I didn't know that it would work so well, but I'm so happy it did, and I'm so happy that message gets to be spread across the world with our music. Neva from Grantsville, if you weren't in a band, what do you think you would have been doing right now career-wise? I already answered this kind of, saying that I would be a yoga and Pilates teacher, but since somebody asked again, I'll give another answer, another option if something crazy happens, like I can't sing, and then if I go for yoga and Pilates, like my body can't move anymore. So say all those things happen, which I really hope they don't. Then third, plan C is, maybe I'll like own a knitting club or something and knit with like old ladies and stuff. And yeah, that sounds really exciting. I can't think of what else I would do. Okay, next question. Cassie from Starkville, what made you not give up during the struggles of getting noticed as a band? We've been a band for 7 years, so of course there were plenty of moments where we were like, man, should we keep doing this? Why isn't this working yet? Why hasn't it happened yet? Why aren't people really noticing it? And I think that's a natural tendency to ask that to yourself and to each other as a band. But, it's a lot of just reminding ourselves and each other that, if we really loved it, we needed to keep doing it and to continue to work hard and see what happened and give our best. Because we were so young, too, that it's not like we wasted 7 years of our lives and now we're like 40 years old or 50 years old, So, I mean, I was only 9, so what time is there to waste, really, at that age? So, for us, we kind of just have been, still, reminding ourselves that this is exactly what we love, and I'm so happy we get to now do it with, somebody noticing, and it working in some form. Natalia, from Madrid. If you had to wear only one pair of shoes for the rest of your lives, what would it be? I actually just took them off, but I will grab them because I wear them literally every day. They're kind of messed up, and I had to use Sharpie on them. You can still see white on there, but I had to use Sharpie on them yesterday because we were playing Late Night with Seth Meyers, and I had to make them look semi-nice, so I Sharpied them to make them look a little better. They're kind of breaking, but they're these leather black booties from Nasty Gal and Shoe Cult, and I wear them literally every day, so I'm already doing what Natalia said. Ryan from Peterborough, who's a neat freak out of the band. I think I was gonna say myself, but I would say maybe Graham is because he's super super organized, which is awesome. We need somebody organized here. Um, like he'll, I don't know, have all three of his phone chargers because just in case, in one place, and then his Mophie's in another place, and his clothes in a specific area, and his underwear, I don't know. But he's very organized. But yeah, I think he wins that game. Jack from London. Can any of you play other instruments besides what you typically play? Yes. All of us kind of play a little bit of everything, like I mentioned earlier. But I actually can't play bass, but I can do, besides bass, I can play a little bit of everything in the band and stuff. But, my first instrument besides singing was drums, but there's a reason why Graham is the one playing drums on stage, because he's obviously a lot better than all of us at drums. So, it's nice to have the ability to do all those things because it leaves more options when we're writing songs and creating and just having fun. But we don't, I mean, there's a reason why all of us are on stage doing what we do. Aiden from Grand Rapids. Do each of you have a favorite book? If so, what is it? I'm going to be the most typical girl in the world, but I'm going to say, can you guess what it is? The Fault in Our Stars. You won. I mean, John Green is just so, I don't know how he can pretend to be a girl so good. Or so well, I'm so sorry. I mean, it's just such a good book. It's the first book I've ever cried in, and I mean, it just made me feel so sad but so good, and so, like, I don't know. It made me feel better somehow. So that's definitely one of my favorites, and it's the most recent book that I read, probably at least all the way through, because I'm the girl who will read half of a book and then start another one and read half of that one and so on. But anyway, I'm a big fan. Thank you guys again so much for submitting your questions for us. We really enjoyed answering them. And thank you again to Romeo for doing this. How do I stop this?